Hello, everybody. Good evening. How is everybody? This is Dr. Rao. I'm coming to open my room on our 40-day journey. Today is the 10th day on this Calm the Mind with Dr. Rao. Okay. I was talking about how we are in the information age. We have the information overload, and we have been having this onslaught of information and stimuli on our mind and our brain. So it is important, in my opinion, in my observation, that we kind of try some effort to understand the effects of information age on our mind and protect it like we protect our body from the lots of things that come our way, right? So there's nothing big deal about it, but it's important that we maintain our mind because, especially if you want to have a clear and present mind, so that when you are working, you can focus, and when you're enjoying something, you can have that enjoyment because you are really here and now, not lost in some worry thought or not lost in some kind of future apprehension or anything like that. So it's important to maintain this kind of habits to really calm your mind. And I was talking about having that clear mind and having the uh, presence. You participate in several things better, and also you enjoy things better, like your relationships, like your experiences, even entertainment also, so but then the entertainment role is also important to understand. Do we need entertainment all the time, or only when we have done some work and really tired physically, mentally, and then you want to replenish yourself, that kind of thing, right? So I was talking about a long time about keeping our mind in the presence and doing our stuff better with focus. Okay, that's why I started this 40-day program whereby I can go into details of the mind, provided people want to find out more about it. Otherwise, I just want them to do a small uh, exercise in awareness in the morning and in the evening, so that they can sleep better, and also they can and don't have to take medications for the sleep. And uh, the sleep restores your body and mind. That's the purpose of the sleep, right? You worked hard, or you were working with your mind, with your whatever stuff you do all day these days. This is not a mad labor anymore. It's more like a sitting in front of the computer doing a lot of stuff, right? So even as physicians, we have to go and document all our findings of the patient on the EMR. You know, and when you're doing that kind of you know information work, you will be overloaded with the mind. Actually, when you will be healthy, when you move your body and rest your mind. you know and calming the mind means we become restless for a lot of things these days. And then the restless gives us like a energy where you go and what to do, but then you are doing too many things at the same time. That's where that can really make your mind run all the time, and that running with a lot of information can leave lasting impressions later on. And then they are buried in your subconscious, and they come compulsively. So you are not looking at anything with fresh eyes, but more like a buried thoughts, buried information in your life, right? So this has got profound consequences as you go into the later stages of your life. So kids and young people and even old people, they all have to do some kind of meditation or calming their mind or relaxing their mind. So this is one easy way that I was telling about how you tie this mind activity with the breathing and how you really enjoy the silence of the mind, that kind of thing, right? So I hope that makes sense to you. What you do is you find a place that you can go to every day, and um, you can do that. Every day, someplace in your house or in your office, you allot a typical time that you can go at the same time, same place every day, and then sit down and keep your feet down on the floor and keep your spine straight and take deep breaths, right? And then tie the mind to the tip of the nose with the breath. And then also remember that you are not just the body and mind, but you are that awareness behind that. These three stages you go through that exercise I was talking about, and as you uh, work out, you feel the relaxation happening. And actually, there's what's called relaxation response that happens with uh, sitting one place down and repeating the same thing and again and again. There is a mechanism in the mind that happens, relaxation response, that kind of relaxes the whole body. Okay? And but that doesn't happen just because you are sitting on one day. It happens after certain weeks of months of practice, where you are able to sit down in one place and focus on one thing and really not to allow the mind to go all over and be into one thought and go beyond thought. So this emanation of relaxation response was well documented. In ancient India, they had this yoga called mantra yoga. Mantra means that you focus on one particular word and repeat that several times, right? So the same thing, same principle was taken by a cardiologist. His name is Herbert Benson, and he found that sitting down in one place and really repeating the same word, it doesn't have to be a particular mantra, but in a word or anything that you like, people repeat that several times and doing that every day, then your mind will induce what's called relaxation response, which is very relaxing for the entire body, not with the mind. See, that's what they talked about. So that is something very accepted in the medical circles also. He wrote a book called Relaxation Response, Herbert Benson, a cardiologist from Harvard. So that was prescribed to a lot of people with anxiety and hypertension, along with medications, whatever we use, right? I did prescribe this to so many of my patients, who are suffering with high blood pressure, anxiety, restlessness, lack of sleep, and all. And they are invited to study the book, adopt the procedure, and do that day after day, right, for several weeks or several months. And then people are hooked on it because they experience this relaxation within themselves. Okay? So I'm kind of telling you in a modified way, which is called Vipassana, where you kind of aware of your breath and you tie your mind to the breath, and then you kind of observe the thoughts, be the witness of the thoughts, and then finally realizing that you are the witness of the thinking and thinking is not you. So all these components were incorporated into my method, whoever does it. Okay. So that's the thing that I'm doing here, and people are coming and asking different questions. That's also fine. Anybody comes in, if you take any questions, any comments, I will welcome that. Um, so these are all the areas that we were talking about for a long time now. Okay. Uh, as I began to understand that there is a separation of us, the awareness that is behind the thought, and the thought behaved rather well, because you don't give it more unnecessary life with thinking everything else, and also using the thought in a focused way really helps us with our realizing a lot of goals in life, right? You want to do anything, you want to read a book, you want to study a subject, you want to learn any art, anything like that, you have to use your thought and you have to use it in a focused way, so this exercise also helps with all of that. So there are multiple benefits by calming your mind. I'm sure different people have different ways to do this. I'm not saying this is the only way that is there, but I'm saying realize the importance of calming your mind. Then you will be able to really enjoy the benefits as you began to make some room, some time for this really working with your mind and then keep it in shape is really going to be helpful to you in other activities as you go about your life. Um, Anybody you take, the people who want to live in the present, or the people who want to enjoy anything and then spend some joyous time, and they all know uh, getting lost in thought, or getting buried in memories, or thinking about what may happen in the future, that can give you worry too, and then anxiety too. They are not really enjoying anything because they are taken away by the mind to the la la land, like, right? So that's what happens with a lot of people. Uh, they are kind of always trying to say that, oh, I'm going to be thinking, and then I think I'm going to be alive. No, not really, because if you have something in the front of you that you want to enjoy, and that is really uh, needs a mind that is present, that is fresh, that is clear, right? So look at when you're a child, or when you can see the children, they are so enthusiastic, they are so curious about things, right? And that makes them really enjoy the stuff much better. So the variety of calming down mind are from all the way to mindfulness, to meditation, to meditativeness and samadhi. So many stages are there. I'm not talking about all those big things. If you are interested, I will be able to talk about that too. But what I am talking about is in a regular information age time, what we are doing here is we are just trying to have some mechanism where this unusual amount of information that's thrown at us in the modern life is not going to cause any harm to our mind, so that our mind can be maintained well. So it's not like you leave it alone, you observe everything, and then you don't escape the attention deficit, you don't escape the lack of focus, concentration, and relaxation that is there in people. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, I hope I make sense when I say these things are important. You have to understand them, and then you have to uh, make some provision of everyday relaxing and everyday calming down. The best time for that will be from the sleep to wakefulness, that time, and also at the end of the day, from the wakefulness to sleep, you are going there. That's when you want to really be in awareness, not in just so many thoughts. Okay, even if thoughts are there, you can make it positive, but I'm talking about beyond that. So in the morning when you get up, just be in the present, be aware of the surroundings, of the life around you, the nature around you, and then don't allow the thought stream, I call it, the train of thoughts, come in and take over you. You can do that later, but first few minutes, at least first half an hour, 1 hour, don't look at the devices, but rather sit down and take deep breaths, and then be aware of what is happening. And then once you are established in your presence, then you can carry that like a perfume through the day. That means whatever you are doing, you are going to be in the present and do it. And at the end of the day, because you have accumulated so many reactions, so many thoughts, so many things, try to take them out of your mind before you go to sleep. This simple habit will do a lot of good to you, in the long run. So people who are yogis, who are really into meditation, all that, they actually their life is to just to meditate. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how can we use our instrument of body, our instrument of thought effectively by knowing about them and by training them so that they are used properly in the. So for me, it has got immense quality when I study something very subtle, very deep, very spiritual. Um, uh, this focus, this concentration, this what's called medha, that is very good intellect. That is there, and then you can understand things better. Your knowing better is better, and then you will enjoy things better because you can see through things very clearly. Okay, there are so many multiple benefits that way. But what I am talking about is a modern man like me, inundated with a lot of information because I'm a physician, I'm an informatician, and also I read a lot, I speak a lot, and all of that, right? So I'm dealing with that all the time. But I know how to protect my mind every day in the morning and in the evening. And whatever I do, I kind of focused on that. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. So this exercise is done in the morning and the evening. Same place is better, and doing every day is better. And then when you do it, you sit in a chair or on the floor. When you sit in a chair, keep both your feet flat on the floor, and then keep your spine straight, and then start taking deep breaths and be aware of the sensation of the breath on your nose, and also be aware that you are having thoughts. That means you can watch thoughts. So watch the thoughts as they come. Don't indulge in them. Don't suppress them. That's it. And do it maybe 5 to 8 times first, and then another 5 to 8 times feeling sensation of the air touching your nose. Another 5 to 8 times making yourself as the witness, observing the thought, and realizing that you are that witness consciousness or awareness. And then you can say, I am this consciousness, I'm this awareness, I'm not just the body and mind. Body and mind are my toes. So this goes a long way to go further probe, but I'm not even talking about all those further deep things because people have their own way of understanding and doing it. We can talk about it at length about it, but my purpose in this room is just to introduce people that there is a need because of the information overload that we need to do something like this every day to protect our own mind. Obviously, I'm just interested in my patients and my family and my friends and all the friends, right? I think this is social responsibility of people who know about this. Like, we talk about vaccines because we want to protect you uh, from the epidemic and all that, right? We talk about controlling your blood pressure and all that because that's going to be harmful to you if you allow it to go. And we talk about relaxation because that's important for you to do. We talk about good sleep. So I'm like a wellness optimizer, right? I promote the 4 pillars of wellness in my wellness club in the morning and in the evening: nutrition, activity or exercise, sleep, and fourth thing is this on the mind, meditation. So nutrition, activity, sleep, and meditation. These are the 4 pillars of wellness. I kind of optimize them, like what kind of thing you are eating, how you are eating, where you are eating, and what kind of things you need for the body, or when should you eat, how to protect your hunger cycle, and all that. Whereas with activity, I prefer yoga because I kind of enjoy doing yoga. But you don't have to do yoga only. You can do martial arts. You can do like aerobic activities on the treadmill. You can do weights, whatever you like. But you have to need the body. That's the activity. Or you have to walk. You have to stand as much as possible and all that. One specialty for me is I kind of design exercise routines in the process of working whatever job that you do. For example, as a physician, I go to the hospital. I have opportunities to take the stage, to walk in the corridors, and also at the computer I can stand and do this. And with the patients, most of the time will be going around, but then sometimes we sit down just to make the patient comfortable. But there are opportunities for me to exercise. So being aware of that, I do. Anybody is like that. Any work you do, you can do like that. Okay. Suppose an accountant, we tell them, okay, get a elevated desk for your computer, and then try to stand as much as possible. Then you sit down. Okay, so any job we can find opportunities to be active, and simple principle is keep the body active and the mind silent, right? So you can do that. Otherwise, these days obesity is increasing because people sit down and watch TV. That means they are making the body inactive and the mind go all over, and then they eat lots of snacks and all. That's why obesity, right? So it's very worrisome because even 10-year-old kid is obese these days. So that worries us. So like that, this is also something I have not seen many people talking about it, but I feel like you got to understand how to use your mind. There are so many intricacies. I'm not going into all of that. All I'm saying is have a habit every day, in the morning, in the evening. Then you will be able to calm your mind, and that's very important. A calm and focused mind is very important to go further details into the spirituality. That's where. But a calm and focused mind also allows you to be in a flow state while you are working, which is very healthy. Instead of getting worried and increasing the sympathetic overload, you are calming yourself. That means the deep breathing works on your parasympathetic nervous system, which really rest and digest system. That's opposite to the sympathetic nervous system, which is like a uh, real problem, right? So we kind of imagine dangers, we kind of react too much. All those things naturally go down because you are training your parasympathetic nervous system every day. That's the point. Okay. I don't think people are paying attention to this because they think it's all natural for them to react, for them to really feel fear or anxiety about some things that coming or deadlines and all. You may have to have some kind of drive for that, but then it doesn't have to associate with stress hormones all the time. Suppose you enjoy work and you're focused, you are involved in a flow state, you will have a lot of production, and then you also have happiness and joy that you are doing a good job, right? That's what I'm saying. I work a lot, but I work focusedly, and I work in the flow state most of the time. So I just want to share that with other people, and that's what I'm doing here. Okay. Anybody wants to come up, you can come up and you can ask me questions, or you can tell me your own way of doing this and tell me all these things I'm talking about. Or do they make sense to you or not? Okay. Satyam is there in that. I want to wonder he wants to come up. And there are people on the wisdom. Joby, Jason, Levi, uh, Amlisat, and San Diego, Alan, Mark Childs. So if you don't have any particular question or comment, that's fine. I've been doing this every day, and then some people come up sometimes and they have a lot of questions they ask me. That's fine too. Maybe people have listening to that too. So I'm deliberately trying to be simpler in this exercise and present it like a daily routine rather than going into deeper aspects of meditation, samadhi, and all that. That they have their place, but this is for the regular information overloaded executive or professionals or students or youth or older age people that's bothered by continuous thinking. For those people, I'm doing this room so that they will, if they are doing it, good, well and fine. But if they are not aware of this information overload and what is happening now, and also this artificial intelligence is going to take a lot of our cognitive abilities away from us, but at the same time can reinforce our cognitive abilities. That is going to be the trend. But then I'm seeing some people are addicted to the artificial intelligence, and then they're doing it all the time because they think of, oh, I can do this, I can do that. All. That's all fine. Then if you can do your regular work much faster, that's fine. But after a while, artificial intelligence will be so efficient, all our cognitive related activities will be done much faster, much better. And then it leaves you with your own mind. How are you when you are left alone with yourself? How does the mind behave? Is it in the presence or is it going into the past and recollecting everything, good things and bad things and painful things and sorrow things? Or is it really focusing on the present and what you want to do in the present? Okay. Whereas future also, you can engage in, I'm going to do this, that, and really focus so much into the future, but you're missing the present. So life is for me is to be in the present. If you can be in the present, you can do stuff better and enjoy things better too. So that's what I want to give it to people, so that they are attentive to being in the present, being in the flow state, enjoying whatever they are doing, and paying attention to each step of it. You can think about the brainstorm about what you want to do, but then when you are doing it, don't munch on the goals on and off. Focus on what you have to do. That's a thing. That means you're present and you are really in the flow of things. Then you'll be more focused and alert and get things done too, so that your productivity will be better. At the same time, because this ancient thing, Vivekananda talked about this too. What he talked about was, if you are so focused with desire in what you want to achieve, then you're going to miss what is in front of you, what is here and now. Okay, so that's why the thing is, just be alert and aware of what is happening in front of you right there. Okay, and also this passion, this desire, sometimes it can take too much. Then if you can get the thing done, you are okay. But if it goes sideways and you don't achieve the result that you want, then you can spend a lot of stressful time, and that creates a lot of stress hormones. So what it is suppose you plan something and then you try to achieve it with effort, and your effort is not enough, and you may not achieve the result that you want. So at the time, instead of getting down on yourself, look at where it needs to be improved. And then if you have a chance, if you have a time, do the improvement in the process. That way, you are getting it done, but at the same time, you are not stressing yourself out. Okay, so that kind of subtle points are there. But basically, just get up in the morning, get your mind into the presence, and get hold of it. And then tie it to the breath. That's the best thing. And then through the day, as you go and work, your mind will be filled with a lot of things. So try to have a 1 minute break every hour, and do this present moment breathing break. That means you just stop and take deep breaths. As you're taking deep breaths, tie the mind to the breath. That way it won't go all over. And then come to the present state of affairs that you had in the morning. Come to that, And then if you do that so many times, not every hour, but at least 2 or 3 times through the day, then you'll train your system to come back to the presence. That's the idea. And at the end of the day, if you do that again, then it sleeps in presence, it wakes up in presence, it will continue in presence. Otherwise, you are on the train of the thought, and what it does is it projects its own um, like a net and gets caught in that. Like a spider throws out the fiber to form its own net, and then gets caught in that. So we also project our own thoughtful network, and then we get caught in that. That thoughtful network can be about the past or about the future. But what I'm saying is, uh, give it a rest there and then be in the present. Then that will be very easy for you to employ the energy properly. um, See, thoughts take a lot of energy. Thoughts can be about the past and the future, but in the thoughtful world, you are not in the present. You are away from what is happening here and now. And when you are really having that energy saved by not thinking about the past or not thinking about the future, then you are performing with energy that is not depleted. That's available for you to deal with whatever is in front of you. That's why they said, what is sacred. What is in front of you, whatever situation, everything, that is sacred. That has got this sacredness. So if you approach to the every moment like that, then that present moment awareness takes your mind a long way to be uh, focused and then clean and clear. Clarity itself is a big deal. If you have a clarity about what you is life about, what you are doing, where you are going, instead of following a particular story that comes along and then make yourself unhappy because you may not be liking them later on. That's what these marketers, everybody do, is they drive you towards goals. So you have to realize that clarity comes in the present when you honor what is here. Okay. So that's those are things. Anyway, uh, somebody sent something here. So I was looking at it. Um, no, that's okay. So I told you about why this is needed because of the information age. How to do it morning and evening and during the day as much as you can, and finding the same place, same time, sitting down, keeping the spine straight, and then closing the eyes and taking deep breaths in and out. uh, like you can do just deep breath in and out, just observe your breathing, and then follow the sensation that you feel as the air comes in and goes out. That way you can tie your mind to that sensation at the tip of the nose. And then third, realize that you are not just thoughts, you are having the thoughts. Thoughts are not having you. So you are that awareness which can notice these thoughts. It is the witness. That is the witness consciousness. So you repeat that sensation, like you're saying, I'm not just this body and mind. I am this awareness behind the thoughts. And then be in that awareness and operate whatever you have to do. You do it in the morning and in the night, that will be better for you. Okay. So anybody want to come up and ask me the questions, or I have to, otherwise it's almost 40 minutes since I opened, and so I will be closing down if everybody is satisfied with everything. Or if they want to come up and talk to me, that's fine. I will be here. The people on the wisdom, 16 people there. So anybody wants to come up, you can come up. Otherwise, we will end the room in a few minutes. Right? Anyway, I hope you will take up this. Uh, uh, so I hope you take it seriously what I'm talking about, and then make sure that you have the chance to experiment with it. And then if you have any questions, you can reach me, or you can come and okay. You can always send me a email or DM. Okay. Already. So I hope I can do this room more often, and I hope you can make a habit of it and test it out and tell me practical problems. This is experiential. It's not just information. You got to try it and then see whether it works out for you. And then if there are any thing that pops up during your experience, you can always talk to me or other people who do this too. Thank you, and I will be seeing you again tomorrow. Bye bye.